never really taken the time to use it in that way.
No, yeah, we never really had to use it.
I think one time before we started using cameras, it was just like, oh hey, I need to discreetly tell him to like hold up just for a moment.
Yeah.
Body language is such a thing.
Can you? I haven't got a camera on. Are you guys have cameras on?
We use Discord for camera stuff.
Oh, do you want me to get on Discord?
You're welcome to. Here, I'll send you a Discord link to our server here.
And how's that gonna work?
Well, what I do is like I mute.
Won't the Discord take over my microphone?
We usually just like mute the mic on Discord, and then like it.
Okay.
And it works just fine on the Libsyn. So.
Okay. Are you putting it in the chat, or where is this coming up at me?
Oh yeah, I can put it right there.
Well, whatever is more comfortable for you. I'm not.
I mean, I might as well use that little live chat while it's there.
You're paying for it.
I certainly am.
Let's see.
But thankfully, it's going to be a little bit less since I finally got caught up on our backlog of episodes. So it's just like, okay, I can slip back down on our plan.
Let's see if Discord comes. I have a Discord account.
Some of my friends,
I don't know if it's going to make me
talking in the live chat last episode.
Oh yeah.
Am I human? No.
Well, that's okay.
Please click on the object that does not repeat. Oh, God, I gotta think about this.
They get more and more complicated.
I'm guessing that
there's gonna come a point where all these authentication things are going to surpass the baseline of human intelligence, and it's just going to be like, wow, the average person can't use this now.
It's going to be like solve for X. Oh fuck.
Oh, now it's going to enter my. I have an account, but
well, it says that you joined. Yep.
I know I'm just clicking on random things at this point. I already have an account. It makes me do things. Yes. Log in. That's what I want you to do. All right. God bless it. Maybe I shouldn't have asked for this.
Such is the way.
Okay. I know, but I just want to, I want to participate at a level that you would like.
Yeah, honestly, it's my bad because like I've been just so out straight. Like I've been doing yard work all day.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. My wife needed me to like clear out a bunch of this burdock in our yard, and it's just like, okay, well, I found a scythe in a tree last summer, so I sharpened that up, and I'm like, okay, I got like this gardening tool. I'm gonna go cut some stuff with a scythe.
What's a burdock?
Oh my gosh, that sounds very. Now I've got like 15 Discord things.
Oh yeah, we have a little voice channel tab.
No, I'm just still trying to get logged in because I can't remember all my information.
That's fine. That's fine.
It keeps asking me if I'm human, and I say yes, and then it says, "Oh, that's the wrong."
Damn, Orion, when's the last time you saw a full body pic?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way here. Hold on a second.
Dude, I got a check in the mail that my dad was telling me about. Guess how much money was on that bad boy?
$2.
A whole $8.
Well, you go get a coffee.
He was like, "You want me to mail it to you?" I was like, "No, it's fine."
Cash it yourself and send me 10.
Yeah, literally.
You'll owe me.
Get yourself a McChicken or something, you know.
Yeah, you know what, Dad, you can keep the $8. That's for all the times.
You're my father. I probably owe you $8. Oh, well, now what happened? Oh, it's up. Now it's updating. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Discord. If you want to get going, I'll pop up on the screen. So.
All right. Well, when it does, I'll do all the manual things, move it around, get the cameras in order.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's going to be a big hassle,
no, there's no worries. So anyway,
What did I do?
I have a cold open topic.
What did I do?
Go for it, Sam.
So, Ryan, let me ask you a question real quick.
Sure.
I think we talked about like the topic of like lucid dreaming and stuff before.
Oh yeah,
briefly.
I've had some very fun lucid dreams recently. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the idea that you should never ask someone like what time it is or anything like that in your dreams?
You know what? Time is a very difficult thing because, like, you ever just like when you're dreaming, you ever just try to look at a clock and just like,
Yeah, it's all fucked up.
Yeah, that does tend to be a thing. But for me, I think time is just very relative in my dreams. Like, I can screw up a dream entirely with the situation and be like, you know what? I didn't like the outcome there. Let's do all of it all over again. Let's just start from the beginning, and then we'll run straight through and have a different result.
So I heard that there are certain questions that if you ask people in your dreams that they'll get like upset and angry. And I think that's interesting. Like, I wonder if that's like a self-conscious, like, you're asleep, stop trying to think about real shit, or if it's like
I don't know, Sam.
Or if it's like you're messing with the astral and they're like, they don't like that, Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, like, it seems like if you ask the wrong questions, you can upset people in real life.
I mean, maybe that's just how your brain's like, somebody could react like this.
Yeah,
right?
like, someone could react very poorly if I shout fat in a crowded theater.
That is very true.
True.
You know how it goes.
I thought that was we were talking about it at work one of these recent days, and I had to stop and ask.
A lot of people think that it's a good idea to get like a D&D inspiration from your dreams, but like I don't know. I mean, how much D&D implications can you get from, hey, this baby's foot just fell off and then it grew off a new one and now I just got this little baby foot? Like,
I
got
just
kind of like asking
right
around,
here.
like, what can I do with this?
Okay, magic answers everything.
You know what? That's fair enough. Fair enough.
What's more magical than D&D and other nerd properties?
You know what? I can get behind some nerd properties.
Yeah.
And without further ado, I'm gonna cue the intro here while we're
speaking
getting
of nerd
our cameras
properties.
back on track. Hello, everyone, and welcome to, let's see, what was the name of the show, Sam? Dungeons and Talkshows. I am your host, Orion.
I am your host, Sam, here to present you Dungeons, Talk, Shows, Monsters.
You know what? I am on board for what
Nice.
Bob's got
Love
going
that.
on right here.
I love that.
Can you hear me okay?
Are you okay?
Yes, we can.
Oh, and you
For
can see me now
for the
too, although I'm
watchers out
backwards.
there,
Yeah,
we may
I'm
also see
shuffling
his
things around.
camera.
Yes.
I'm
Fun
reversed.
little graphic. I like it.
It's this Discord makes me use OBS Studio when I'm on it. So
You know what? That's cool because like I'm just kind of moving things around with OBS right now. So that
are you with
yeah,
double
I'm all in.
OBS?
Yeah, all the OBS.
With two OBS, what would that be? Tobs,
All the tobs.
all the Tobs.
Let's see if I get this.
Wait, okay.
There.
Oh, I see. You guys are muted as well. Okay, it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
working. I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave it alone.
There, it's right where it
I
needs
apologize where it took me a little while here, but we're
Hey,
going.
no
now.
worries, no worries.
to be. And then I can just move this one up and boom. So, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, mysterious voice and cat.
I'm Starboy 01.
Hey, wait a minute.
No, I'm Bob LeMent. Hey, how's it going?
There we go. I think I got our cameras looking decent now.
I know why all that crying was happening. You took away the favorite toy, which is right behind you there, that board.
Yeah, good old Plank. You know, it was
Plank. I'm sorry, Plank. Yeah.
it was a time wrestling Plank out of the hands of Johnny 2x4, but you know, it was well worth it. He's been an excellent third chair to this podcast.
Yeah, he's fallen hard and earned his spot. You know.
Well, his eyes are a little bit. One's going one way, one's going the other way. You know,
you
maybe
don't want to talk about that. He's sensitive.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Little, give me the, you know.
Oh, absolutely. So, what can you tell us about what you do? Because for our listeners that aren't familiar with your work.
Yeah.
Oh, what I do?
Yeah.
Apparently, I just jump around and talk to random people on the internet. But no, I'm a host of a show called Static Radio. Wherever you can search for things, so you know, Google or Bing or Yahoo. And I, just make funny shows. Basically, we do a weekly show. Every week we tell stories, and hopefully they're funny. And sometimes they're not, and sometimes it's just a big snooze fest.
Are they like fictional stories, or are they like life stories?
No, they're all ripped from the pages of my amazing existence.
I love that.
All the stories are something that has happened in my presence or happened to me. Every once in a while, we may have a secondhand story, but very, very seldom.
So basically, what you're telling us is we're going to get an amazing story out of you by the end of this episode.
Oh, well, I said that sometimes it doesn't work out, so, you know.
Well, you know.
But,
stories,
no,
jokes, you throw them all at the wall, see what sticks.
But yeah, I've been telling stories for a long time now. It's been terribly long. Terrible.
You're what some would call the ye old storyteller, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I get that a lot. I get the ye old storyteller, shut up old man, what are you staring at me for? Stuff like that. Yeah. Why are you talking about me?
How to get in my house.
Yeah, you never dated in high school. You're lying. All that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. And then, I don't know, just over the last, I guess 2 years now, there's been this uptick in people guesting on other people's shows. And I'm like, I could do that. What the hell?
Yeah.
And that is something we're definitely doing. Yeah. I contacted you through a horrible website called matchmaker.fm, which sounds like some type of illegal dating site.
It really does. I had my doubts when our one of our editors suggested that we start using it, and I'm just this sounds.
I'm not
like
looking for a Russian bride. What are you?
Local singles in your area.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like they're just trying to hack all your data or something. You put your
local podcast in your area.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to hack all that stuff. You can just ask me.
What's your dog's name? Stuff like that.
Yeah, just go ahead, take my social security number and all the bad credit that comes with it.
You ever seen that video where it's like they walk up to this lady on the street and they're like, "Are your passwords safe?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's very safe. My dog's name, the school I went to." And then he immediately went and asked her all of those questions. She was like, "Yeah, the dog's name is Ben. I went to
my maiden name. Yeah. My grandmother was Hazel.
Cooked, man. We're cooked.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else you want to know. I mean, that's kind of the thing on me. I'm pretty much an open book here at this point.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure, as you can kind of tell if you haven't already, we are mainly like nerd kind of
Yeah, I'm on the Nerd Militia Discord site.
We
So
talk
I'm
about all kinds of things, games,
Yeah.
TTRPGs.
Do the Nerd Militia just have slide rules and pencils? Is that the whole weaponry of the Nerd Militia?
Pretty much.
Oh, absolutely.
Our quick wits,
Rubber bands.
Yeah,
memes,
dice, you name it. You know.
dice. Yeah.
A long time ago, I had this whole idea for office wars, and so like you had to fight each other, but only could use items that you had in your office. So like staplers, or you could bend paper clips and use rubber bands to shoot them at each other.
That's
I like that.
Yeah,
improvised weapons.
Yeah, all improvised weapons in the office. You could strangle somebody with your USB cord.
Damn.
I think that's what the Nerd Militia should have.
Your
A
repertoire would
garage
be
that's
endless.
made out of the USB cable, right?
Yeah, you know
And
what?
then-
Who hasn't wanted to kind of get the jump on one of their coworkers with the USB cable?
Yeah.
Look, everyone played that game, Kill Your Boss, like in like 2006. Like,
And
you
they'll be
know
going,
what?
oh, Ryan,
That was
you
a
need to
song.
give up that old keyboard. You could get a new one. You're like, hell no, this thing is a weapon. I'm not getting rid of this
Yeah.
keyboard. This thing's solid.
Yeah, like I think Plank would be, pretty solid up in this one right here.
Yeah.
he's basically a keyboard, you know.
Might be borderline illegal. I mean, there's not, people usually don't have too many planks in their office.
Geneva Convention would be very upset if we knew.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, and I don't. And if you were to listen to the show, I may have used that as a story. I can't even remember it. At this point.
You just put staplers in blank.
That's right.
Well, when it comes to storytelling, you've come to the right place, because here
Oh,
at
good.
Dungeons and Talk Shows, one of our primary things that we talk about is a lot of D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, and like a lot of that does come down to storytelling.
Sure.
Do you have any?
I believe you.
Do you have any experience in the D&D realm?
I have. I won't say that I have. A cornucopia of experience. I do have limited experience, but
Yeah.
and it's a giant but in that one.
Nice.
Mm.
And this is gonna tell a little bit about my age, but I had access, although they were not mine. I was
calculators
borrowing
out,
them from a
boys.
friend, to all the original Dungeons and Dragons books.
Ooh.
So the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Player, Dungeon Master's Guide, right? Monster Manual. If you look these up, you can't even get these things anymore, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I'm sure your dad probably has them. Huh?
See?
Yeah.
But yeah, I had all those. And so, yeah, I remember the terrible thing was I read them like a book.
Hell yeah.
That was my thing. And so, yeah, I know
That was me with the
evolved since
Dragonology
then.
book in like middle school.
It's all evolved since then and so forth. But I did play a bit whenever I was younger, but it's been so long ago. But I was a dungeon master once as well, many years ago. So yeah, but I mean nowadays it's probably just all out of hand. I was a thief, neutral good thief.
Nice.
I couldn't be bad because I was a nerd and I thought being bad was terrible. I've since aged out of that.
Right.
I feel that, like, still to this day, if I play a video game, it's just like, ooh, like, I could do all these bad things, but being bad makes me feel bad, and I don't want to feel bad.
My mom said, "Don't be bad." So yeah, and I mean it's fun, but you're right. You basically make the adventure for the rest of the people, right? Who are playing, who unfortunately
That's how I
are
always
probably
think
just a
about
bunch
it.
of guys, but
Yeah.
You'd
I
be
always kind of think about it like
surprised,
you're like a
like,
director for like a movie, right? And they're all your actors, but they
Right.
write like their own script basically. Like
exactly, and they get to choose your own adventure, right? So-
yeah, but it's so like
It's so chaotic. Like, I ran some games for my kids, and it's just like the escalation of my son being like, okay, listen, Dad, I'm going to use magic to make this ice cream taste like poop, and I'm going to give it to people.
That's classic. That's great.
It is.
Who's
That
more
kid's
creative?
got some
than kids,
imagination.
dude? Like
He's going some places with that.
Yeah, he's just not going to kill them. He's going to make it taste like poop. So then they're all off ice cream, and he can corner the market, and then he makes a lot of money. They're like, I can't.
He's got the
Ice cream's
corporate
cool.
mind, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna go far.
He's an entrepreneur.
He very well might be. He's been like, we got this like light battery powered weed whacker, and he's just been taken to the yard all over the place.
You're like, how did you know what you wanted to be when you grew up? I played D&D with my dad once.
Yeah, I played with him, and
It
then
just
he
all
gave me a weed
clicked.
whacker.
Now I'm a
And
political
he
actor.
$8.
He could easily make some money with that. Like, I gave my kids an ultimatum. I was like, listen, if you're upset with the situation, then maybe you need to go make some money. And now my daughter's painting rocks, and my son's whacking weeds.
Hell yeah, get him started early.
Oh my god!
Children yearn for the mines.
Painting rocks. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she wants to sell.
Is
them
she
for like
selling them
$5
or
a
just
rock.
painting them and throwing at people?
Oh, she wants to sell the rocks. It's like she's been
Oh,
real
People do it.
real on about making a couple of these rocks look like strawberries and like painted a cow
Oh,
on
very
one of them.
You ever seen the
Okay.
people that do like the painted rocks and then they hide them places?
Oh,
And
like
then,
geocaching.
Kinda. Then like when you find them, they have like a little like I don't know, it'd be like a link on the back or like a page or something to follow.
Yeah.
I found
QR
one
code.
once when we went to these like who was it, like a Japanese garden or whatever. They had like a
Yeah.
little ladybug one that I found on a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually art. You were stealing art from the.
Oh, I put it back. I just hid it in a different place.
Yeah, professional art thief and just
Yeah, I got 2 words: googly eyes.
Exactly.
You're a big box of googly eyes, and then everybody will love them, right? You just,
Put them everywhere.
doesn't matter what they look like. It's a
Google
googly
eye
eyes
menace
on a
strikes.
rock. Yeah.
I feel like I could do that for like D&D minis. Just have like a little bunch of paper cutouts and then just put the googly eyes on them.
Good, yeah, googly eyes.
Players
You know
would
what?
love it.
I'm making a stand. I'm putting googly eyes on every traffic light in my city.
There you go.
Getting one of those big ones.
Googly eyes on all the routers in the ceiling at work. Just because it was
All the
funny.
outlets.
It's brilliant.
No one's plugging anything
You're
in.
walking along, you look up, and there's these eyeballs staring back at you on this little box on the ceiling. Like, what the hell?
Oh, that's fantastic.
They're always watching. Man.
Yeah, they got some the antennas are sticking out. Look like some kind of weird.
Damn Big Brother is always watching.
That's right. Exactly. Goodness gracious. Well, I how much do these rocks cost? Out of curiosity, I have
Yeah, how much
I
is
have
one?
a rock problem. So
Some people love rocks, man.
Yeah, they do. I think she wants to charge like what is it, like $5 a rock, and I'm just like, okay.
holy
well,
shit!
Are these like small, like
Yeah.
tiny stones, or
No,
are they
no,
like
they're just like these little
pet
yard
rock
rocks,
type
like
things?
like,
Big as your hand or
yeah,
no?
like hand size rocks. You know?
no, like a
They
pet
need
rock?
to be hands. I only paid $5 for a rock from Crazy Horse up there in
What was Crazy
North
Horse?
or South Dakota. They're making a statue, right, of Crazy Horse, and
Yeah,
they're
they-
selling the rocks that they knock off
I gotta
of
look
it to
this up
make it.
now.
Yeah, Sam.
It's on the side of a
there's this,
mountain.
It's like
Crazy
it's like a Native American Mount Rushmore that they're
Yeah.
carving with a big old horse and a big old guy riding the horse, and the
Yeah.
guy's name is Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse, yeah.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh,
No, I'm
damn.
saying-
Yeah, they've been working on that for years.
Whoa.
Outside the gift shop,
Monument
they
the
have
Hero
all
Crazy
these rocks
Horse.
in a
It's taken
bin,
shape
and you
after
can take whatever
70
you want.
years.
Damn. How's that for job security? All you gotta do is just spend your day like knocking rocks off a cliff and shaping it into a horse.
You got like one chisel. You're just-
I think they're using dynamite still. I don't know.
I certainly.
It's
hope
a
so.
big
Dynamite's
project.
They better
It's a big-
contact the aliens because they had it down pat.
Yeah, they did it. They did it all in one evening. Kind of like crop circles and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
They just knocked that crap out in a second.
Yeah, I think at the rate Crazy Horse is getting completed, it's just like, but by the time it's done, we'll have like another National Treasure movie, and then they'll have
That's
that
right.
inside Crazy Horse instead of the didn't they
Mount
go, like-
Rushmore, yeah.
Yeah, they went
They'd be
inside the Mount Rushmore.
Crazy
like,
Horse
why do you
prophecy.
know? That's right. Oh, I love those movies. They're great.
Shit, I
You
need to
learn, you
steal that
learn
for
while
a
you
D&D
get
campaign.
entertained. It's very nice. And not like Nicholas Cage.
D&D campaign where you go to find a Declaration of Independence.
There you go.
Damn. You got me right there. Damn.
A necromancer creates a document called the Declaration of Dependence.
The Declaration of Dependence. I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
The Declaration of Codependence, even better.
Oh my goodness! Now you guys are getting deep.
This is what we do here. We just cook. Sometimes the fumes are toxic, but we're cooking nonetheless.
All right. I got you. So which one of you guys? So you take turns being the dungeon master, or is it always Orion, or is it always Starboy?
We kind of like go back and forth. It kind of depends. I ran a
Really?
campaign.
How many people are in your crew for playing? Is it just you two? Because that would be kind of not so fun. I don't think.
Well, we have maybe like 15 people on our Discord.
Holy moly, that's a lot of
play
people.
D&D
Yeah.
as a whole.
We kind of like switch around who we have in our campaigns, like
Yeah.
usually around 4 to 5 players, and it works out pretty well because
All male?
no, actually,
Not always.
it's 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, pretty
That's
good.
amazing. No, that
But
times
sometimes we get
change.
like new people who join sometimes for like a one shot, or
Uh-huh. Are they just writing a paper or something? They're like, I told them I'd play D&D once. Write about it.
No, we kind of like we're open to anyone, to new players, especially like the campaign that I ran recently was kind of like the first one that I had like run to completion basically. I had run like one shot and stuff, which are like short-lived campaigns.
What was your
one
name?
to
Was the
three
Star
sessions.
Boy? Was it? What was your name on that?
Oh, I mean, and I always go by Sam. It's just kind of like
Oh, okay.
one line thing.
And your dungeon master Sam.
Yeah.
Tells
So like
you.
I ran a Grim Hollows campaign, which is like kind of more of a darker setting.
Well, hence the name.
Yeah.
Very much a Brothers
Grim's Hollow.
Grimm type thing.
Right.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
So I got to play
Getting
around
literary.
with like the horror element. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It was a little fun. I ran I don't know if you were a gamer at all, but I ran a Bloodborne one shot.
I'm mildly
years ago.
familiar with some of those.
Yeah. So
But not
this
all of them,
time
so.
I'm looking to run a Monster Hunter themed one shot.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Now, do you do this only in person, or do you do it online as well?
I've never actually played in person, really. Maybe like once when we were at Job Corps a long time ago. But we do most of our
really?
stuff online.
Yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of people are just so spread out all over the place. Like, I live in backwoods Maine, so it's just like 2 hours just to be able to go to anywhere decent. So
That's what I was going to say. You don't really need to say backwoods. You can just say, I live in Maine.
yeah,
True.
I love Maine, actually. I've been up there a couple times. I love Maine. I think it's great. I've actually been to the capital. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head now.
it's Augusta, and I'm gonna have to be
Augusta,
there.
yeah.
I'm gonna be heading there Wednesday to.
Oh, there you see.
Bring
Look
a
at
cat
that.
to a thing.
A cat, really?
Oh yeah, my stepfather's cat. We're kind of like bringing that one little guy.
Is he the
down
one that
to-
owes you $8 or no?
Nah, I think Sam's the one
I'd
that
ask for more
getting
than
his
$8
$8.
then. I'd ask for more.
I can buy a cat. Let's go.
I think Maine is a fantastic coast. So now, Starboy, you are in Maine as well? No.
I'm currently living in Virginia. Yeah.
Oh well,
I
you
met
gotta be
Orion.
so disappointed
in
by
Maine
that.
when we went to the same school.
Oh, okay.
way
You went to
back.
Maine?
Yeah, I went to Maine for about a year to go to trade school.
Yeah. I went to Portland, Maine, which is weird because no one ever thinks of Portland as being in Maine, right?
It's so
Yeah,
true.
it's just like a coastal city, so it's just like, oh wow,
Yeah.
this is normal, like by everywhere else standards, and then like
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
beyond
You say
that.
I went to Portland and everybody's like, Oregon? No, I went to Maine.
yeah,
Oregon.
that's basically what we kind of get. It's like if I couldn't imagine having to live in Portland itself, because like anytime you want to go anywhere and you got to look it up online, Portland, and then all the results just Oregon.
That's right.
I often forget states like Oregon exist, to be honest.
You forget states like Oregon, really?
Yeah, like Ohio.
All right, Starboy. How many states are there in the union? I'm gonna have to.
The
These
Mandela
in this
You
effect.
gotta
economy.
did you graduate? Did you get your
I
degree?
did. This economy might have to sell a couple of them off. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, there's
Maybe to be
Middletown. There's East Coast, West Coast, Middle Coast.
Middle Coast.
Yeah, Middle Coast is definitely a state.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah,
states.
that's where like
And
Pennsylvania.
then Fremont.
Whatever happened to?
So you guys went to college
yeah,
together, or no?
Yeah,
we went to trade school.
Yeah, doing welding and whatnot because metalwork is fun.
Metalwork.
No. Oh, you didn't go to college. So you went to high school together?
Trade school.
What?
Like a trade school, kind of like a college.
Trade school. Okay,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
I'm a community college graduate myself,
Nice.
but not to brag.
Educate.
I did continue on, but I did go to community college. So
If you went to
so you guys are
college,
both
like
metalworkers?
this episode.
What's that? Yeah, I feel like if you like community college and googly eyes, hit like and subscribe.
Yeah.
So are you both metal workers then?
Yeah. I would say
Oh,
so.
really? That's
We both have a
fantastic.
hobby for it, I guess.
Oh, you don't do that as your job, I guess. Is what you're saying.
I feel like we would both love to do that as our jobs.
Now, is it big metal stuff or like the little metal stuff? Because then you'd be into the miniatures and all the pewter and all that kind of stuff.
It's more
With
like
all the little figures.
more like a bigger welding type stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh
just happen
man,
to
I
be,
wish
like,
you guys
really
lived near me. I have some
so-
welding that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think it's more like sheet metal, and
Okay.
I would always like to do like a creative kind of like art, with
Mhm.
metalwork. I think that'd be really cool. I would like to
Yeah.
get into like blacksmithing, or at least like replica work
Mhm.
would be really cool. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a guy around here that just cuts your name into a piece of metal, like fancy,
Nice.
fun, and sells it to you. So there you go.
Yeah.
Your name. It's my name in metal.
Like I think it would be so cool to make because I go to conventions and stuff fairly often now. I see a ton of people who sell those like replica weapons of like anime and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh god,
my
they sell
gosh.
them for so much, and they always look so cool.
So what was the last con thing that you went to?
I went to one like last week actually. I went to the
Yeah.
Oddities and Curiosities Expo.
Okay. And that was somewhere near.
Yeah, it was in Richmond, Maine.
Oh,
Not Richmond, Maine. Sorry,
I
Richmond,
was gonna
Virginia.
say,
We were just talking about Maine. It was in
Richmond,
Richmond, Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which is kind of like how to explain? It's very like creepy stuff, like
Very PT
taxidermies. Yeah, very like live
You get
specimens,
Free tetanus
bones.
shot while you're in the building for that.
I mean,
one,
if
or-
you were into it, they do have taxidermy classes you could take. So like I don't know. But yeah, I'm really into that kind of stuff. I like bones personally, like skulls
Oh my
and stuff like
gosh,
that.
I couldn't imagine.
My-
The googly eyes is about as far as I'd go. I can imagine seeing squirrels staring at me all day.
My
or
girlfriend is
anything.
she loves like the entomology parts of it, like the bugs and stuff.
Mhm.
She likes to have those. She also likes the live
Make
specimens.
sure you're not
that
going to
they
find anybody better.
Yeah. Yeah, she loves the live specimens. I don't really. I
Oh,
like
the live
them.
ones. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not really like a mammals guy. I like reptiles and stuff. So like, if I were to get one, I would want like a
Well,
lizard.
you guys
like
get
a
together,
snake.
you can raise because the reptiles eat all the bugs.
Exactly right. I like reptiles and bones. She likes bugs and live specimen mammals. So,
There you go. I'm telling you, it's a match. It's like you guys should have a
Dude, we
detective
talked
show
about this
together.
last episode, but if you're not aware, turtle skulls look like dragons. All right, they're so cool.
Really? But they're tiny though, right?
They're tiny,
dragons.
yeah. Like I imagine, like if you're like a tribal person, and you
Mhm.
find like just some bones out while you're scavenging. and you see like a little turtle skull, you'd be like, "It's a fucking dragon, bro!"
Oh my! It's the tiniest dragon I've ever seen.
Little
Yeah,
bone
Someone
dragon.
must have
It
killed
must
it.
be like a hatchling nest somewhere or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
I bet that's where like lore and stuff started, because like I've seen like now that I've seen a ton of different skulls, especially of like horned animals, you know,
Mhm.
any person who's not like intelligent would be like, "This is a fucking demon." Like,
Honestly, like being around a few hundred years ago, you just find like a skull like that. You just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go back into town and just tell everyone that I'm a demon slayer, and
yeah, like
this is my
look at
catch.
and they would have no reason like not to believe you. They're like, they got the bones right there, man.
Now, I don't want to be the naysayer here, but I think at that point in time, everybody killed stuff. So
Yeah,
it's not like today where, if you brought somebody a skull and they've only ever seen packaged food, they wouldn't understand that that's even a skull.
true.
Homer, yeah, back then everybody's killing their own chicken. They're like, that's just a
real,
chicken
yeah.
skull. I don't know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about.
If you were like traveling
Starboy.
and you were like, surely no one's seen an ox before. You know, I got this ox
they're
skull.
killing them.
It's giant. Like,
I'm hungry. I'm killing my ox. Man, I am so
I
hungry.
don't know.
Now I will jump on board with you because there's the elephant skulls, because elephants weren't everywhere. Somebody brought an elephant skull to Greece and they thought that was a cyclops, right? Because it has the
I
big
remember hearing
hole
about
and where the trunk is. And so if it was somewhat not the one from the area, I mean, you couldn't just go out to the pond and grab a couple of frogs and bring those skulls up there. You'd have to go out, on a little adventure.
Like, I think I started thinking too, because I especially imagine like nomadic like cultures and stuff, maybe like Vikings or something like that. They go to like Scotland and they find like bones that they never seen.
Scottish skulls?
I don't know. What kind of animals does Scotland have? I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I think like their national animal is the unicorn, so you might be on to something.
So maybe they see something. They're like, "Whoa! People from my country will have no idea what this is."
Yeah.
I could say it's literally anything.
I mean, this entire situation, I'm just like taking notes for next D&D campaign. Like, okay, so
it's like
guys,
everybody in medieval times was P.T. Barnum or something. I don't know what they were all. That's smart.
Honestly, that would be such a great premise for an entire game. Like the entire party, the whole group is just a bunch of P.T. Barnum style charlatans. Like they just gathering exotic things and be like, "Oh, hey, the locals don't know anything about this. Let's go."
Fucking rob them blind.
Have you guys watched Time Bandits on Apple TV recently? It's a new show on Apple TV.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah. Oh, you should watch it because it's a lot of this kind of humor where because they travel through time, right? So they meet people from an older time and then they try to pull the wool over their eyes, and it's funny. It's very funny. If you get a chance to watch it, you should.
Because like I imagine, like, I don't know, it's like the Egyptians, right? They knew about dinosaurs. There's hieroglyphics and stuff. So like I imagine they found like dinosaur bones and they were like, "This shit's crazy."
I don't think there's any dinosaur bones in the desert. I've never heard of a dinosaur bone being found in the desert. Have you?
I don't
Like
know.
Africa?
I mean, like, I would imagine the sand would just kind of be like, okay, sandpaper process, just gone.
Well, I also imagine like sand probably preserves stuff pretty well.
I mean, if it's, I'm skeptical on that. Like, I don't know the
Well,
science.
it preserved the pyramids
Does
pretty well,
sand
but they're made of giant
preserve
blocks of granite and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm looking at
I'm no archaeologist, but
if we have any archaeologists out there, let us know.
Yeah, feel free
or
to correct us.
paleontologists for that matter. Yeah. But no, it's an interesting theory. I hope that you're right, Starboy. But,
I have no idea.
I would love to just.
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical.
I'd love to see that they just find like a bunch of dinosaurs inside the pyramids. It's just be like be like Attack on Titan, where like all the walls, like they open them up and just inside it's just a bunch of giants, and I'm like,
They use dinosaur bones to construct the pyramids.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine.
That would be wild. Now, Orion, you aren't kind of worried about Starboy and his fascination with skulls? I mean, that's kind of. I mean, he may say, "I don't have a main skull in my collection."
I don't have any currently.
Oh, okay. Well, you're just starting out.
I was this close to buying one.
What were you going to buy? I hope it wasn't a tiny dragon that you got tricked into buying for $1,000.
I almost bought one, but that was my logic. I was like, if I want one, it's gonna be like, it's going on my shelf. It's got to be decently sized. And there were a few that were in my price range. There were like goat skulls. They had the horns. Those are probably my favorites.
You could probably buy a whole goat for the price of that skull.
Dude,
I'll be honest with you.
They had a cow skull for $50. I was tempted. I was like, there's no way I could fit this anywhere. A cow skull. Big ass, like
I'm telling you, just go for a drive. You will find a cow skull.
Dude, I was like, man, if I had the space for it.
I tell you, Sam, like next time we raise some goats and we get one up for slaughter,
give me a
bone. I'll save a skull.
Oh, you got a line on one now. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, like,
if you can like
goat tacos go hard.
Get it like cleaned, get the bugs or whatever to eat the meat off and clean up the bones. I'll take it.
You just need to befriend someone who works at a packing plant, and you can have all the skulls you want and all
the rat skulls I could ever.
You know what? I happen to. There's one like 5 miles from my place. Like I might be able to have I might have the hookup there.
Yeah, many years ago I worked at a meat processing plant.
Oh, God.
As a young man.
Can you talk about it legally?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, it was I can. It was everything. So yeah. I mean, they have this thing. Maybe they've changed the procedures, but they used to have this thing called the inedible room, and that was all the parts that they didn't use. So a lot of guts, right?
All the stuff that goes into the hot dogs.
Exactly. Well, no. And then they went basically into these giant Rubbermaid gray garbage cans. And then I think it was almost every day, this guy would come by and he would take all the, he came by in like a garbage truck looking thing, and he would load those big tubs into the thing and flip them into the back of his truck, and it went to Purina to make dog food and whatnot.
Sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
So and but I mean, as far as the bones, and they used everything that has a use. There's not very much that would really go in an edible. There was sometimes the terrible thing was every once in a while. You'd have like a pig that was had something really like wrong with it, like didn't
like a disease.
It didn't look. It wasn't going to make the cut in the inspection, and they'd throw it in one of those barrels, and then the whole thing went in the truck. So yeah, and one of the most amazing things to me was, can you if I were to say you're in a room full of guts in barrels, what do you think that smells like?
It can't be good,
right? Like, I imagine it would all just kind of like have that like copper.
If you had to describe it, what would be the one word you could describe that in your mind?
I mean, my brain just goes to like rot, like decay kind of smell.
Oh, Ryan, you're not thinking hard enough. It smells sweet.
Yeah, I have to imagine because like the coppery kind of smell from like blood.
It smells very, very like overwhelmingly sweet.
That's interesting.
Isn't that bizarre?
Actually, that kind of makes sense because that's how people like usually describe like the smell of a Bigfoot.
It's because it's not there for days, right? They get taken away on a regular basis. But it's just very, very sweet. It was alarming whenever I first experienced that. I'm like, I thought it was going to be putrid or something. And here I step in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like Willy Wonka's factory in here. It was bizarre, totally bizarre. It's just like incongruous, as they say.
That's really interesting.
So yeah, but just befriend somebody, you'll get all kinds of skulls. You could get, especially if they do deer processing, because then you can get some deer skulls.
Yeah, I always kind of wondered what those meat processors, like what do they do with all the bones? Like, Surely they
I think
don't
they
give
get
all of
ground up.
them.
They're useful. A lot of them get ground up, but I'm sure you could get, you could make an arrangement for $8.
Yeah, just
You could probably get something.
slip them an
Yeah,
$8 check.
Yeah. This is
Make a
written out
friend
in
at the
cash.
plant, save me some skulls or whatever.
That'd be
I'll
interesting.
sell them and I'll be
yeah.
rich.
But,
Government love bones, man.
what is your fascination? Is it just the shape, or is it the fact that it doesn't look like what it does on the outside? Or?
That is part of it. Yeah, it's kind of like, how to explain. It's like a way to like honor the form in my mind,
Okay.
Like I always kind of feel like, especially I talk a lot about like Monster Hunter, right? I love the idea of using everything that you can.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of that, like, if you hunt it, if you kill it, you should make use of all of its parts to kind of honor the life, know. And if you can't use it, you should, display it or, honor it in some way or whatever like that.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like to me, it's very like respectful to be like, oh, I think, what some people would find weird or like gross, to find like a little bit of beauty in it,
That's interesting. That's a good take on it. I was just thinking, since you guys like metalwork, you should make metal skulls.
I think that would be fucking cool. This is like a project that I have in my mind. All right, I would love to someday. It would probably be a crazy process, but to like create every bone of like a metal dragon,
Ooh.
as like a sculpture. I think that would be fun.
That would be cool. I mean,
that'd be awesome.
You get your you go to your connection down at the processing plant, you get some bones, and then you could cast some of them, and then you could cut some of them out of different types of metal, and make a metal sculpture.
In my town growing up, there was always like those really like ghetto like car sale places, they would have like those like junkyard sculptures in their front.
Right, yeah.
They were always like, they were a little like ugly, but they were always kind of like cool.
Yeah, it has an aesthetic, right? I was watching Furiosa today. I watched Furiosa, and they had made helmets out of skulls and everything. It was just kind of a whole aesthetic for Mad Max kind of stuff. So
yeah, it makes sense.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah. No, I feel like some people have like, they like to have the organs in like jars. Some people like to have,
Orion, this is really.
I know we're going really off topic.
Now we're going into organs in a jar.
I mean, that's live specimens. Some people like the whole body.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just teasing. When I was a kid, we had snakes in a jar. Like you catch a snake.
I think snake skeletons are some of the coolest. Like
they're very delicate.
They're so cool, and they're super delicate. It's crazy that they're so strong when they're like alive.
Yeah. Well,
this frame is what.
Not if you stomp on their head, but right.
And that's kind of like what I like to do here. My big thing is, you probably did. I like monsters and stuff. So I like to do monster segments on the show.
Yeah, so you could even do, imaginary things, just taking
and you know what? I guess this is kind of on topic because today I am talking about a construct creature. So
do you want to get into the monster of the week, Sam?
Sure. Might as well.
The darkest secrets of the creature of the week.
I'm thinking Starboy's setting himself up to be the monster of the week. I don't know.
The real monster was Sam all along.
This is how I lure you all into my domain. I just get you interested in useless information.
Hey, let me show you my dragon skulls. Wait a minute.
Door locks behind
That's
you.
a machete.
Like, where's the dragon skull? I'm going to make it out of yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. But yeah, so this week I was looking into construct creatures. We haven't really talked about them since I think the Modron and like the.
It has been
episode.
A while.
So I thought, why not? I figured I would talk about a demon construct today, which is kind of interesting. called the Retriever.
All right. So is it like a metal demon dog? Is that what we're
Pretty
getting
much.
here? It sounds like
So
something
we're-
straight out of Blade.
It kind of is, yeah. Oh, man, Blade is so good. All right. So a retriever was a living construct created by foul sorcery to operate as warriors and servants for powerful demon nobles of the abyss. They specialized in tracking objects and individuals that their masters desired.
All right, so big on the dog aspects there.
Yeah. These would be kind of like the demon bloodhounds, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
I'd be a
So
little-
retriever,
hounds of hell.
yeah, they're just like metal, so that's like worse.
it's much worse, and it only gets worse.
They're
So
all,
retrievers
like,
resemble
options.
giant spiders with four forelegs ending in large cleaver-like blades,
Damn.
and four rear limbs that were used for walking and that carried most of their weight. Their legs spanned over 14 feet, 4.3 meters, but they normally stood 12 feet, 3.6 meters tall. Twice as tall as a human, a retriever's body size ranged in size from that of an ox to a mammoth, weighing an astonishing 6,500 pounds, 2,948.4 kilograms. Despite their overwhelming weight, they were agile and quick to an unnerving degree. They had two primary eyes and four smaller eyes that gleamed malevolently as they peeked out from their carapace. Incoherent whispers and clickings were emitted from them because they could not speak normally.
I think Hollywood needs to take notes, honestly. Could you imagine a monster movie with like just one of these
be
things
horrifying.
running about?
Dude, you have like a group of people like piss off a demon or something, and it's like, you know what? All right, sends just like a couple of these boys at you.
You know,
So it's got
it'd be
six.
very
You
unsuspecting.
said it's got 2 eyes, 2 regular eyes, and four smaller eyes. Is what you said?
Right. So yeah, they have two primary eyes and four smaller eyes.
That's creepy.
They have
They're not
four
googly
forelegs
eyes,
that, and unfortunately, no, they would be kind of cute with googly eyes.
Just
They
the
had
four
four
googly
forelegs
eyes,
with
just like
sleeper-like
right
blades at
underneath.
the end, and then four legs that were used for mainly their
You could dress up like this for Halloween. Just stick the googly eyes on your
just a metal spider, yeah, some googly eyes. So getting into the lore here, retrievers had low intelligence, bordering on mindlessness, unerringly striving to complete their task until completion or death. Despite their one-track minds, they still had time for cruelty. They would constantly seek to combine malice and petty sadism into their execution of their tasks, but their foremost
Alright.
goal was to complete their missions. Retrievers were especially valuable to the Lords of the Abyss, as their dedication and determination were something hard to come by. Other Tenari very rarely tried to interfere in a retriever's work, as doing so often incurred the wrath of the demon lord.
All
So
right.
their purpose was to hunt down and haul back whatever their master wanted, whether an enemy, an escaped slave, or a lost or coveted item. Their demon masters employed them for tasks too ugly for their own hands, or that other demons could not be trusted with. It was highly unlikely that one would find a retriever not currently following some order, and if they weren't, they were normally waiting outside their master's castles waiting for new commands.
All right. So, like, this is very
That's-
much a seek and destroy type situation.
Mhm. Yep, we'll do what told to like a loyal degree.
Yeah, man's best friend, right?
Right. Congratulations. You combined dogs with spiders and terminators.
True.
Now
And
you
I
have
bet
guys
you're
from the
wondering
Arnold-
what piece of
Arnold
shit
drugs.
created these things, huh?
I mean, Spider Terminator is just like that movie writes itself at this point.
Yeah.
So the original inventors of the retrievers was a contested topic. Some claimed that they were originally made by Demogorgon, who crafted them with abyssal matter and evil spirits in order to hunt down his foes. Others purported that retrievers were the work of ancient primordials that demons learned how to command and began using them for their dark bidding. Some said that retrievers were initially created by the Drow in order to traverse the abyss while collecting demons for use in their rituals. However, Drow with access to retrievers rarely gave them orders in order to prevent the risk of the automatons being used against them.
I
So
kind of like
that's
the Demogorgon
interesting.
aspect because, like, I've been kind of getting into Stranger Things. I think they're getting like a new season sometime
They
soon.
are, yeah. I've heard a lot. I think we talked about it a little bit, but the actors in that show were like pretty much done with it. And that makes sense. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a few years. They all grow up, right? So
Yeah, they're all pretty old now.
they're all doing other stuff.
So those who believe that they were Demogorgon's creations claimed he modeled them after Bebelith, which are a demon race of spider monsters, basically. But those who favored the Drow theory thought that they had the appearance because of Drow imprisoned Bebelith spirits in their constructs. So it could really be either way. Some think the demon made them, some think the Drow had the idea and kind of just took spirits in the construct.
Interesting.
Once a great wizard stole a jewel of great power from Demogorgon, arrogantly believing that his tower's many wards against fiends would protect him from retribution. In the dark of night, a retriever managed to break into his home before kidnapping him and fleeing the premises, either due to the weakness of his protection or because the constructed nature of retrievers allowed them to bypass such countermeasures. Because the constructs themselves are not fiends, they're constructs.
Right, right.
So get wrecked. I imagine Demogorgon was like, "Oh yeah, powerful wizard, huh? Eat this robot." Like,
I love the concept of demons sending robots after people. It's so cartoonish.
yeah. And some people may be wondering, what is Demogorgon, right? We've heard from Stranger Things, this is a thing with a flower face, but not really. All right. So, Lord of the 88th layer of the Abyss, known as the Gaping Maw, referred to as the Imprisoned One by some followers of Helm, was the demon lord and lesser deity of domination and the draining of energy, an embodiment of madness and destruction that sought to drag all down to the infinite depths of the Abyss. He was known by many names, called Siosavash by the Yanti, Limogugun by the Deep Father of the Kuotoa,
They're getting a little outlandish with some of the titles and names.
and Aman Ibor, the Sibilant Beast by the Troglodytes. The first Tenari formed from mortals' ancient fears, even his chosen race. All right, now this word, give me a second, because it's a son of a fish.
I mean, it can't be any worse than Demogugu.
No, it's worse. Ikzitzachitul. I had to write out the pronunciation.
It sounds Mayan or something.
Dared not speak his name aloud. It alone could inspire primal terror.
You ruined it there. You spoke it aloud.
Yeah. He's fucking coming for me now, I guess.
It's Beetlejuice now.
Gonna send these damn spiders.
It's the goddamn Beetlejuice again.
Uh-huh.
So the mere speaking the name of the Demogorgon inspired fear in other demon lords. His self-proclaimed title, Prince of Demons, was won by virtue of power and influence. Many demons challenged it, but none could defeat the Demogorgon and claim it for themselves. So, a brief description of the Demogorgon. He is a two-headed, kind of multi-featured monstrosity. He kind of has like snake-like tails, two baboon heads that have different personalities. He has like clawed, kind of like gorilla arms, movie. But they have like tentacles at the end. He has like taloned reptilian feet. He's fucking crazy. But Demogorgon,
amalgam, huh?
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. He is the amalgam, and he likes to create amalgams. That's kind of Demogorgon's whole thing, is that he likes to create things. As the minds kind of bicker between themselves, they have constant creativity, constant ideas, so
that mental ping pong.
Yeah, exactly like that. They just live to create shit. So a lot of people do believe that it is the Demogorgon that created the Retrievers, and I feel like personally, I would probably say same, because it seems like up their wheelhouse. So getting into the abilities and stats of the Retriever here, they are large constructs, typically lawful evil.
So this thing's the size of a horse.
Yeah, pretty large. It said, horse to mammoth size? So they could range.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this is between the size of a car and a bus. Okay.
Basically, yeah.
A double-decker bus.
Right.
Damn.
So they have immunities to necrotic, poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that are not adamantine.
So I can weld it, is what you're saying.
You can weld it. It is a construct, so it is made of metal. Whatever that counts.
Just stand still. I have to weld you.
Conditioned immunities are, as you can expect, cannot be charmed, exhausted, frightened,
Put on these
paralyzed, or
goggles.
poisoned. So retrievers could quickly rip and tend most foes apart with their foreclaws, but rarely use their mandibles in combat, saving them from seizing their targets. Their most dangerous weapon, however, was their eyes, the smaller of which were capable of emitting magical rays. Known effects were flame, frost, electrocution, paralysis, acid, pure force, and even petrification.
That's like behold. So a little sprinkling of like a beholder.
Yeah, they got everything. Retrievers could find anything that their masters had seen, touched, or possessed a piece of, so long as that they know the plane it resides on. They could be instructed to draft specific queries or be given a category to work within. Not only did they know the location of their targets at all times, they knew that of their masters as well. So they always know where whatever they're searching for is and where their master is. Retrievers use their eye rays whenever possible, and if forced to wait until they recharge, viciously savage their enemies with their claws. When given a target they incessantly focused on that enemy before grabbing them and swiftly plane swifting them away. Occasionally, other demons would accompany retrievers on their hunts by mounting howdahs on the arachnoids and riding them during the trip.
Well,
that's horrifying.
There's a whole lot of escalation in that whole description.
Yeah. But they are fairly simple for what they are, I suppose. There wasn't a whole lot of like lore on them, But those are retrievers. Use them, DMs and players out there, to your heart's content. I could even see these being, modified and adapted. Demogorgon is
you just
likely
bust
to
out your
do.
welder.
Yeah. I imagine like the party somehow gets one of these. Nah, that's
just too much.
That's cool.
Normally, we do like to try to think like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, could we take one of these things in a fight? And I'm thinking I'm going to give that a 1.
This is a fat no.
This is just like the chances of me being able to get it to sit still long enough to just like kind of stick it together with a welder's like
it's essentially a spider tank with 5 different ray beams that it could shoot.
It's like, dude, I don't even think I don't think I could take on the killdozer, let alone a spider killdozer.
Oh, I forgot to mention its stats here. So its stats aren't that crazy, surprisingly.
Really?
So the strength is 22, dex of 16, constitution of 20, intelligence of 3, wisdom of 11, charisma of 4. So these are purely kind of like battle creatures, right? They're not smart. They don't think. They don't really do anything except what they're told. But that's also its own kind of.
I feel like the only practical way to fight one of these is, just whipping out some thermite, and thermite's not too hard to make, you got a
I'm thinking a good mirror. Just let them shoot you with their eyes and just bounce it right back. Right?
Ooh, that is a classic strat. That's how you kind of defeat a beholder in some cases.
Yeah, just use the mirror, right?
Yeah, just lure it into a house of mirrors and just
it'll fry itself.
So like, what the fuck?
Be like, hey. There's other ones.
There's so many of my kind here.
It'll turn into a laser rave, and hopefully it finishes the job.
Yeah, I mean it's not immune to its own beams, right? Except for maybe the paralysis.
So look at that. Everybody just polish it up your shield, and you'll all be fine.
Yep, they are CR-14 creatures, surprisingly. So.
Also known as the Medusa maneuver.
Yeah. We'll never see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hope you guys enjoy a little bit of a lore dump.
It's absolutely like a damn. I don't even know what to do with that. It's just like you could really just be like, oh well, I've had enough of your shit. This monster of a thing's coming after you. Just
Yeah, sick 'em.
exactly. And like you said, I think the Medusa maneuver would be definitely a top strategy if you wanted to fight one of these things. And just like, other than that, well, a little bit of thermite. That's all I got.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you could. I mean, essentially, could you fight a tank?
I mean,
Somebody
if I had
just
thermite,
stick your
yeah.
finger in your ear there.
You just go up.
Like, okay, gotta take the powdered aluminum. Gotta take the powdered iron. And
I don't know what would be worse, like big ones, like big versions, or small ones. Like, oh my god!
Well, you also could build a tiger trap, right? Make a big hole and they fall down.
Yeah, big old tiger
twice the
trap.
size of a person. Like, fuck.
And then put mirrors down in the trap, and then they shoot themselves. There you go.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Hidden strat.
And then it always knows where you are, so you could use yourself as bait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I can imagine like the party fights one of these. Maybe they escape, right? Maybe it runs away to survive or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it would even do that, but it knows where you are, so it's coming back. And like,
I can't imagine it'd be too tactical with a.
Maybe I imagine you stole something and like demons are like, I want that back. And you're like, go fuck yourself, and he's like, oh yeah. Take this spider.
What do these things eat? You got to feed them something.
They do not eat.
What do they
They're
eat?
constructs.
They don't eat anything?
Yeah, they're robots.
Yep.
They're
They're
robots,
essentially
okay.
magical robots.
Well, there you go.
Created
Give
by
it oil.
dark magic and the powers of the abyss, I guess.
Okay. As long as you got those two things, you're all good then.
Pull out the cross, I guess.
I guess.
Them
All right, Orion, you got any
robots.
news for this week?
They don't have like a battery or anything? You can just pull the battery out? Or,
Yeah, just rip
yeah,
out.
Elf-
the Duracell,
Elf is kind of like a battery.
you know? Like, hey, the battery compartment's right underneath there. Slide under there and get those batteries for us.
Yeah, just to rip out its double A's.
I mean, who
That's
knows?
right.
I imagine they probably do have some type of like core, you know?
Yeah.
A cord. Unfortunately, I got the corded version, so we can only fight within
It's just
If
that
only,
scene from, like
I would have got the wireless one.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and like
Wow, that's great.
That's, if you guys want to come over here, we'll fight you. But otherwise, we're stuck. Our extension cord's only like 25 feet. So
if any of our listeners out there remember Shark Boy and Lava Girl, release the hounds.
Mhm.
All right, Sam. Moving into nerd news this week. It's been a slow news week, but
Yeah.
you know, I did look into some of what Wargamer was cooking up for their articles, and we do have something.
This is TNN, bringing you Nerd News.
All right, Sam. So this week in nerd news, you're aware of how the new 2024 D&D Player's Handbook is coming out, and there's a lot of the stuff that's been kind of pre-released. People are getting all checking it out and whatnot. And every nerd and their mothers out there just kind of hyper analyzing all the classes, trying to figure out what is, out of all the differences, what's the best, what's the worst.
Right.
And I guess a lot of people have kind of come to a little bit of a consensus on the rogue actually being like the big loser of all this. And it's just like, damn, but thieves are usually kind of on top of things, and here they are falling behind.
Interesting.
Yeah, a little bit from the article. It says some of their new abilities, like the Cunning Strike, allowing for creative status effects during sneak attacks, and
I like that.
yeah, I do like that. Like they get some additional benefits from being able to be more versatile with how they use their sneak attacks, as well as the weapon mastery system. But they ultimately seem to be falling behind damage-wise, behind Ranger and Monk, which a lot of people aren't too keen on.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. Because it's like, how are you outputting the same like damage as like a monk who can hit like an 8 times in one turn? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it seems like one of those things where it might be a little bit more sensationalized. I'm not too certain on it. I really do think that how powerful anything really is at a table comes down to who's running the game and
right? Yeah, who's running the game? Who's running the player? If they're using its strengths correctly, like.
yeah, absolutely, because like it's kind of up to the DM to give the player a chance to shine on their own.
Right. You give them like the blocks and they build the castle, you know?
Exactly. But really, that's about all we've got
It's kind
this
of
week.
lame. What do you, in your opinion, what do you think is the weakest class?
Honestly, I don't know what I would say is necessarily the weakest.
Yeah, I feel like that in itself is like hard to determine because they're all strong in different ways, right? Like,
Yeah,
like, what are you gonna say? A cleric is weaker than like a fighter? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like,
no. It certainly doesn't. It's one of those things where, like I said, how good anything is purely dependent on who's running the game at a given time.
I feel like if anything, I would maybe say warlock, just because they don't get a whole lot of spell options, like, or they don't get a lot of spell slots really. But like, I don't know. Even then, like spells as a whole is like.
Now, that's something that's remedied by having a regular coffee break, and once again, that comes down to the DM running the table and whether or not they let you take an hour in between situations.
Yeah. Look, I'm curious if any of our listeners out there have thoughts on this. Let us know how you feel and what you think.
Bob, you used to play a little bit of D&D back in the day. How do you feel about how maybe I'm thinking wrong on the I guess how things were for it back then, like was anything seem like particularly weaker than anything else, or just like kind of
as far as the characters and so forth?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everybody wanted to be a monk or a ranger, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I always liked to be the thief. I don't know why, even though that was kind of a weaker character typically, at least starting out, right? So
yeah.
But I always liked the thief. I don't know why. And I think it has to do with, kind of your own kind of fantasies about the role, right? So
absolutely.
if you're in the role of the thief, then you in your mind, right, you're like, I'm going to be, this good thief that I'm not good as in good and evil, but good as in I can steal a lot of good things and have a lot of fun.
Assassins and like thieves and some rogues and stuff like that are not meant for like direct combat. So like
right, you sneak around, right? You're the backstabbing kind of people. You're like, you guys go up there and fight, and then I'm gonna sneak around back and I'll steal, whatever we're looking for.
Yeah,
any kind of potions or any kind of treasure or whatever. And then if I get in the spot, I'll stab somebody in the back or cut their hamstring or something, and then you guys can take them out. And that's the role of the thief. But, I think a lot of times people are just like, don't want to do that. They're like, okay, we're all going to go fight. Let's everybody go fight. It's like, no, you have to pick your players.
It's a little more of a tactical mind.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It does seem like a lot of modern D&D versus old school D&D seems to be very, like the mindset behind it is fundamentally different. And that's something that I've talked with my dad often about, where it's just like, back in the day, like you said, a thief type character would be more tactical. Okay, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go sabotage something.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. It's like,
I'm going to go
what can I
steal
do?
something. I'm going to go open the door or something, sneak around and get inside and mess things up. Yeah. I mean, rather than being kind of brute force kind of a situation. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
definitely.
So ultimately, I think it's going to be time will tell as far as the utilities that people are able to get out of this stuff.
Right. There's more to combat than just damage, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You have to be stealthy. You got to be sneaky. Sometimes you just go take stuff and don't even fight anybody. Just go take it.
What are you gonna do when like your DM throws a monster at you that like can't be beaten with
Run
brute
away.
force, you know?
Run away.
Oh, you're dead. Like I don't know.
Just gonna set a trap, run.
Well, but that's
you're
no
all good.
fun. So I think as part of being the
Right.
dungeon master, it has to have a survivability, right?
Yeah.
There has to be an out. There has to be your ability to continue another day, even maybe wounded, but not just, oh, you open the door and everybody gets shot in the face. That's it. And you know what I mean? I mean, that's no fun. That's not a fun game. You have to have, you have to have something. I mean, if you make it obvious that if you open the door, you get shot in the face, then you're stupid and that you deserve that. But if it's not obvious, if it's if it's kind of blindside you, then no, I don't think that's fun. And I think that the person running it needs to rethink some of those things.
That reminds me, people gotta stop like undercutting the idea of like checking for traps. It's like you should check for traps at all times.
I think last game session really highlighted that for you guys, because in the last game I ran for our group, they were going through a forest, and there's a guy that runs this whole pirate crew called they call themselves the Tie Man Pirates, and this guy's whole gimmick is ties, and they keep stumbling into these little tie-based snare traps. And it's just like he gets himself strung up into his tree, then like pulled off to the side, and just getting caught up in these ties. It's just like, well, you guys perceived these ties. Like, maybe, just maybe, you should
you gotta check.
Yeah. We like, okay, we see them. We just gotta like walk through anyway.
But, you guys will have a chance to be able to move forward. Maybe a little bit more cautious of all these ties. Cause,
you live and you learn.
Yeah, but if you set it up to where, you have learning moments, right? So you're like, okay, this is going to be bad news down the road. Then at least you can kind of ease into it. And then if you decide to not pay attention, then that's your fault.
Yeah,
True.
exactly. And like there was an era in the hobby where like lots of players would be like, "Oh, it's a 10-foot pole. I'm totally buying one of those." and modern D&D is just like, why is there a 10-foot pole on the list?
Why
of
would I
items
ever
we can
need
buy?
this?
Why would I buy one? And it's just like people that have been around for a while is just like, well, you see, the 10-foot pole is really cool. For one, you can poke the Grinch. For two, you can check for traps.
Right. Yeah, put it out in front of you, exactly. And it's a good joke.
It is a good joke.
I wouldn't touch you with the 10-foot pole. Well, by the way,
pulls out a 10-foot pole.
I've got one. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Shit.
Let's see what happens. If I put this thermite on the end of it in a little bucket.
Thermite pole.
You see that on and off switch that I can reach with this 10-foot pole on the back of that creature over there? Yeah.
No monster is ready for the power of a 10-foot pole, duct tape, and thermite.
That's right. I've been dragging a 10-foot pole around, but hey, whatever.
All right. Sam, now moving on to our next segment, we do like to kind of highlight some of the content that people in the community kind of make themselves, the homebrews that people make for their D&D tables, because people come up with all kinds of creative stuff. So Sam, do you want to kick us off?
Sure.
Generic realm, lots of fun, excellent.
Going into the generic realm.
Pretty generic with this one this time. I bring you guys the Traveler's Tea Strainer.
All right.
Tea strainer. Okay. Is this some
know-
kind of double entendre?
I don't know. We'll see. So the
Okay.
idea of potions, they're pretty widespread. Everyone knows you can make elixirs, make potions, make buffs, whatever. But what about teas, right? You can do a lot. You steep some water and some magical herbs or something. Who knows? Creativity. So often found behind many a barkeep's counter, this tea strainer is more than meets the eye. The runes on the capsule can be rotated to create a specific flavor of tea.
Okay.
Once the rotation is set, you may place it into your cup of water. It must be placed into a cup to work. To activate this magical strainer, you must touch the gem at the end of the chain. Your water begins to boil at the perfect temperature, then briefly glows light purple before becoming ready to drink. Should you add a healing potion into the tea while the strainer sits in it, the tea will turn black if there is any poison. If there is no poison, the tea will then grant you the warmth of loving memories upon each sip.
Okay, so it's kind of like a little quality of life thing right there.
Yeah. You could check for poisons, you could make some lovely tea for your party. You could, I imagine, have your DM give you some magical herbs you find. You could try something out. Ideas aplenty. Sometimes it's
More useful than I thought.
Yeah. I often talk about, weapons or armor or something like that, but something a little bit simpler sounds nice. It's the small things.
It doesn't take up much room in your pack.
Something like a restorative, healing tea for your party during a short rest could do a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Now,
Not to mention, it's civilized. You're civilized.
Very highbrow.
You just got out of a rough fight, you're barely living. What hits better than a hot cup of tea,
That's right. Have a spot of tea.
Yeah,
Would you like one?
Oh, that'd be perfect.
I know your hand's been obliterated, but it's okay. Have some tea.
That's perfect for just a tea obsessed British type character, or maybe someone's really leaning into a Uncle Iroh type character.
Dude, I love that.
This could be a deadly poison, or it could be a delicious tea. There's only one way to find out.
Right.
All right.
I like the idea of this being like a magic weapon too. It is a wondrous, uncommon item, so it has some novelty.
Yeah, you know what? I'd give that I'd say a 7 out of 10. It's good. It adds a little bit more chance for people to kind of role play their little in between things. It has a little bit of utility.
I can see this being something you find in someone's house chest or something. And you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things that a player might forget that they have, but could still have a lot of fun with it. So mileage may vary. Really, kind of depends on what your players are up to.
Yeah, I give it about.
You have tea every day. You have tea time. So
and me personally, I love tea just in my normal life. So if I had one of these, I'd be using it.
I think it'd be a great way for players to just kind of really lean into the joke of tea time. Be like, hold up. We need to take a short rest.
Yeah, what if you have
break, guys?
A cleric or something that heals through
Who's got the biscuits?
Exactly.
Tea time is like your restorative hour or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's oh, wow.
Exactly.
Well, it's been a long day of just slaughtering orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Time for tea.
Exactly. Role play plenty.
Yeah.
So shout out to Studio Evans. They do have a Patreon and they do have a Reddit. Shout out to them. Thanks for making this.
I did put the link in the description because I thought it was pretty cool. Now, leaning in more into some of the more unhinged styles of homebrew,
yes.
I present to you. Let's see. let me look at the thing, because
Barbarian path of the
yeah, from the frisky risque.
Excuse me.
Too much tea.
I present to you guys the barbarian subclass path of the unhinged woman.
Oof.
Is this a charm? What is this?
It's a type of barbarian.
Yeah, like
Oh, okay.
in modern D&D, we have what are called subclasses, which are just like
Gotcha.
once you get to like a certain level, like a level 3 for a barbarian, you choose a subclass, and you get like some extra abilities that come from that.
So you could be an unhinged woman?
I guess so.
Is there no equivalent male version or no?
The sane man.
He's in touch with his feminine side.
Okay.
Oh God.
He takes after his mom.
Holy shit.
Good. Was his mom unhinged as well?
His mom was the unhinged woman. Yeah.
The original? How interesting. Okay. What is the unhinged part? I mean, what is the what
makes
puts
it
you into that class? What unhinges you?
That's it. You know what? There's a little bit of a description here. A drow emerges from a shadowed alley, dripping in the blood of her enemy, a drunken dwarf who dared demand she smile. An icy cackle washes through the echoing halls of Candlekeep, where a halfling just cracked open a librarian's ribcage as if he were a book she might borrow. Okay. Like all barbarians, the unhinged woman is most powerful when harnessing her rage. It is more than a fleeting feeling, and often knows no bounds, eviscerating anyone caught in the crosshairs of the unhinged woman's whims. While they may abide by some kind of moral compass, known only to themselves, many are agents of chaos who worship a insert god name I'm not pronouncing here, the god of chaotic evil. Now, this does come with some features and abilities. The first is aptly named Unhinged. A twisted dark hatred inside lives inside. So do what's right, shown to show the world what it created. Okay, yeah, a little bit more flavor text there. As you become an unhinged woman at 3rd level, twice per short rest, you may become unhinged as a reaction to taking damage. While unhinged, you gain the following abilities until the end of your next turn. You deal an additional 1d6 psychic damage on each of your melee attacks. Each time you miss, you may take a non-reducible psychic damage equal to half your barbarian level and gain advantage on your next attack roll.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Your movement is unaffected by difficult terrain, and spells and other magical effects can neither reduce your speed nor cause you to be paralyzed or restrained.
I like that.
Yeah, restraining orders don't stop her.
Yeah. The only way to stop her is to recite all of your various anniversaries.
Tell her she's acting like your ex.
Yeah.
Let her really do it.
For 10 minutes after becoming unhinged, you have advantage on death saving throws and disadvantage on charisma checks and wisdom saves. While unhinged would end at the end of your turn, you may choose to extend your unhinged status until the end of your next turn instead by taking a non-reducible psychic damage equal to your proficiency bonus. Okay. So by slowly descending into madness, hurting yourself in the process, you can continue to be unhinged.
Nice.
Yeah. Sounds
like
good.
And then,
I'm surprised everybody's not doing this.
Well, why can't everyone be an unhinged woman?
Yeah.
At level 6, you get the pushback feature. Let's see. When you fail a wisdom saving throw while raging, you may use your reaction to end the effect and add 1d6 plus your proficiency bonus to the first damage roll you make against the creature that forced the save. When you use this
Okay.
feature a number of times per long rest equal to your yeah, so you can use that number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So that's not
Okay.
bad.
Nice.
And let's see. The name of this next ability that you get at level 10. Oh no, you're suddenly killing me.
What the fuck?
You can fake being calm, like before the storm that destroys. At 10th level, if you make an attack against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet, you may expend a use of your rage to enter a rage. For the purposes of that initial attack, you are considered raging. Okay. As also at 10th level, you may now become unhinged at the same time as you are raging. Okay, so that's that's
buff stack.
stackable. That's
Okay.
two things at the same time. Okay.
Like double coupons.
Yeah. Nothing gets you more unhinged than showing up and finding out they won't take your coupons.
That's right. Exactly.
Now you can
I'm
play
not
your
mad at
character in
you.
your local D&D game.
Yeah.
What do you mean they expired?
You're expired.
I don't see a date on here.
Pulls axe out of purse. There are no dates on these coupons.
No date.
Okay, so the capstone for this subclass, completely unhinged. Follow your heart. Be true to yourself. Live your life. Bring destruction and ruin to your foes. At 14th level, while you are unhinged, you gain 15 feet of movement, and any creature that makes an attack of opportunity against you rolls with disadvantage. Additionally, as a reaction to taking psychic damage while unhinged, you may choose to share your suffering,
Oh shit!
tripling the psychic damage you take, and choosing one creature you can see within 60 feet of you to take the same amount of damage.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
That's okay. I see the synergy.
Okay, you can start, just let other people feel how psychotic you are. I see
How do you
it
think that
is.
makes you feel? It makes me feel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd say it's surprisingly, it sounds like a kind of fun thing to play.
It does sound fun.
Like, I don't know how the rest of the party would handle playing around this kind of thing. Like, like the resident yandere of the party being just completely psychotic. I don't know. It'd take a very special kind of player to be able to make that work without being a problem for everybody that they're playing with.
Become a problem player. We hear so much.
Well, everybody just hangs back. We're just gonna hang back, and
You
then
know-
you go. And,
Yeah, they're just like, you know what? Hands off. We're gonna just take a step
She's on a
back.
fucking
work
rampage.
work your
man.
magic.
Yeah, we're just
Come on in.
no, we're good. We're good. You
We're
do
just gonna have a
you.
spot of tea here.
We're just
You
gonna
go
sip some
on.
tea.
I would
Yeah.
like to see this class have some sustain. I think there's a lot of you deal damage to yourself, even though it's probably low amounts.
It is low
gonna-
amounts of
it's gonna
psychic
add.
damage, and barbarians are typically once they're in a rage, they take reduced damage to begin with.
But it's non-reducible second damage.
Yeah, so it's like everything else is reducible. The psychic damage, no.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I could see then I guess you were speaking it a little too strong. Maybe a while unhinged, get some life steal or something. I don't know.
I kind
Maybe
of like
heal a D6. I don't know.
I don't know. I like the idea of just kind of
do
sharing
like
the
it.
misery and just the psychic damage kind of accumulating. But barbarians have so much health, it's
Yeah,
negligible.
they're fairly bulky, just naturally. I like it though. It sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to be the stalker psychotic ex?
Down with the patriarchy. If you have to do it with your own two hands.
He said I should smile more. Who's smiling now?
Now he can't smile anymore.
Damn. Just get to embody all the stereotypes with that one.
But all right, we are coming up on the end here.
Yep. And Bob, where can people find you?
Oh. He said, come up at the end. I was like, well, I thought you were going to do some kind of wrap up there. You can come to Static Radio or at Static Radio, just about anywhere. It's pretty simple. I'm trying to keep it simple here.
Absolutely.
I thought you were going to go into a rage there for a second. I'm not sure what that happened.
We're not quite unhinged yet.
I think you guys should make a new one called the Skull Collector, and then they get unhinged.
Oh, that'd be a very unhinged.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds good, right?
It'd be something else for sure.
Write that up, Starboy. You got
Yeah, I like
Skull
it.
Collector.
Skull Collector.
Yeah. Maybe you could have some kind of magic where you suck the skull out of their head.
Oh, Jesus.
And unless they're wearing some kind of enchanted helmet or something,
That's
they're all doomed.
I saw this video where people tried to say that you could animate the skeleton inside someone's body.
I saw
First
that.
of all, no way that would work, but also ridiculous.
I saw the one you're talking about, and it's just like, okay, yeah, no. I'm not going to allow my players to just
but
go.
yes, but no.
The Puppet Master.
Yeah, right? Like, what do you think this is?
I feel like that'd be just such a different thing altogether.
The live body is not a pile of bones, all right? You fucking crazy people out there.
It's in
What
the
if they're
same
dead?
breath.
What if they're dead and then you bring them back to life? Did that work?
Gotta be a pile of bones.
Okay.
It's the same.
I'm
as
trying. I don't know. I'm trying.
Like, people are always trying to do weird things. Like, oh hey, I want to cast create water inside their lungs. Like well,
cool an idea, but you cannot do that.
Funny thing, yeah.
It doesn't work like that. Lungs are not an open container, people. All right,
well, when you're breathing, there's an opening.
Now that's usually the argument.
I mean, what if you just didn't make water and you pissed in their mouth?
Yeah. Now we're talking.
The bladder's an open container, sure.
Create this.
but not all the time.
Yeah,
Isn't it crazy? We just drink water to
If it was open all the time, you'd just be dribbling all day long. It closes off, right?
Yeah, this is how we're ending the episode. Talking about create.
So you can only get in there.
Yeah, so you cast create water, and they are now afflicted with piss driblets.
It'll be like they'll be able to follow you because you'll just be leaving a trail of water.
Oh, damn.
You're trackable.
That'll really kind of clean out the kidneys and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I got the dribbles.
Somebody in your party got kidney stones? I know just what you need, man. Create piss.
Yeah. Kidney stones. I know a guy. We'll get that magic word and knock those kidney stones right out. That's probably not how that works. All right. So this has been Dungeons and Talk Shows. Sam, where can people find us?
You can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you can find podcasts. Spotify, I think we're on Apple Podcasts, Kick, whatever.
Wherever the podcasts be podcasting, I suppose.
Yeah. Wherever people listen to their stuff. I listen to a lot of books, so we're not on Audible. But
actually, we are.
We're on Audible. Let's go.
They have podcasts on Amazon, so yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I did look into that because my brother has been really big on Audible lately, and he's like, "Hey, you guys aren't on there. It's just audiobooks right now."
If anyone wants more of us, you can find us on social medias. We do post sometimes. Sometimes we're pretty engaging with the communities. If people would answer back. We do also have that voicemail now that I don't know the number of.
513-570-4443.
All right, you heard it here, folks.
Say that again.
It's 513-570-4443.
And
It's
as we say,
mnemonic because there's
or as I
four-
say
there's
every
three
time,
fours.
if you want to leave a message, please feel free. We would love to hear from you. Please, no eating, no music in the background. I'll say this until it happens. All right?
You were just eating. I watched you.
Hey, I muted my mic.
Oh, okay.
He's
I just
inviting
thought maybe
the
you were a
worst
really
kind of
quiet
criminal.
eater. I didn't know. I'm like, why does he get snacks and nobody else has got snacks?
We got to hear munching, then it'll be me that's munching.
So it was 513-570-4443.
Yes, that
There you
is
go,
the
you
number.
got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I like the idea of a voicemail because then like people can send in like any kind of crazy D&D thought or maybe it'll tell us that we're wrong and we can play it on the show.
Or if you have any like monster suggestions or things you want to hear us talk about,
Mhm.
anything really. Biggest thing, maybe keep it under like 3 minutes. Maybe we'll play them at the end of the show if they're good.
Shit, I actually don't know what the time limit is for a voicemail.
I think it's like 2 minutes.
Well, I don't. Is it a Google Mail or Google
Yeah,
Voice
yeah.
number?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
Google Voice.
I think you got a pretty good time on there.
Yeah, that's gotta be.
Yeah,
At
there's
least
a.
2 minutes.
I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it's. Let me look real quick before I tell you what it is, and then get it wrong.
Oh yeah.
Oh no,
Gotta
it's not
Google
it.
it real quick.
I gotta Google it. I just got.
I can't wait till we get a call. It's just like you guys are dumb. You know what you're talking about.
Speak Pipe. You guys got Speak Pipe yet?
What is what?
Speak Pipe.
No.
Okay, you gotta get. It's like internet voicemail, basically. Yeah.
Oh.
Speak.
So you don't have to call a number. It's a Speak Pipe, and I think I have Speak Pipe static radio. So there you go.
Interesting.
I'm gonna
Well,
write that one.
You guys heard it out here, folks. Let's go and call into Static Radio through SpeakPipe.
I also have. We also have a. We also have a number. I have a Google Voice number.
Yeah.
If I can
You wanna go
remember
ahead
what
and-
it is.
That too?
Yeah. Well, let's. If I can find the darn thing here, let's go. 314-827-6399. 314-827-6399.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can call and leave a message, and I will probably ignore it, and then we'll find it a couple months later. So there you
Well,
go.
sounds about right. Like a present to yourself.
That's right. You could, leave whatever you want. Leave a secret, and then I won't. It'll happen, and then we'll just reveal it later. So,
I tell all my secrets to every podcast.
that's right. Just randomly, yeah.
Yeah,
Here's my social security number.
Yeah. We can share the debt.
That's weird.
As always, we hope you enjoyed this episode, the conversations, the monster, the news, whatever. We love you. Till next time.
Oh, that's so nice.
We'll see y'all next week. And we are good. All